A disturbing video showing men dressed as immigration officers choking a man inside a home, raising serious questions and demands for accountability. Tonight, the former immigration minister weighs in, saying there are established rules. But first,
tonight on our news, a rare press conference between the Chinese ambassador and members of the media as she sought to address concerns raised by the United States on China's Bahamas relations, as well as the way forward as both countries continue to strengthen their ties. Stay tuned tonight.
F&M leader Michael Pintard demanding the Davis administration reveal more details about the $120 million sale of Grand Lucayan. His call comes as the Prime Minister questions his readiness to lead, sparking a new political clash. Then in our news at 7:30, a full-scale probe now underway into the Norman's Key development in Exuma. The Labor director says the allegations are the most serious he's seen. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. The People's Republic of China doubling down on its ties with the Bahamas, insisting it's here to build friendship and win-win partnerships. The pushback comes after a U.S. warning on diplomatic relations. The local Chinese ambassador addressed the issue today at a special embassy press briefing on Shirley Street. Our Joshua Williams was there.
Whether it's Bahamas or China, we have the right and we also have the wisdom to choose with whom to be our friends and with whom to be our trading partners.
Following the United States warning to the Bahamas about its relationship with the People's Republic of China, Ambassador Yan Zhirong is setting the record straight, saying they have no ill intentions. Her comments come after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio cautioned Prime Minister Philip Davis to not be vulnerable to privacy, security risk, and exploitation. So, should Bahamians be concerned?
To make another friend and to make another partner. Bahamian people, you always say we want to be friends with everyone. Same for China.
The Bahamas is one of 28 countries that's a part of the China, Latin American, and Caribbean Forum. A recent meeting was held in Beijing earlier this month. She says this is just one of many initiatives to support nations in the region.
China, Caribbean countries, Bahamas, Latin American countries, we all belong to the global south. So we have some natural bonds, we have good, foundations and reasons to be good friends.
When it comes to having to choose a side in the midst of global trade war between the U.S. and China and underlying hostility between the world's superpowers,
China does not coerce, does not threaten, does not sanction or invade others. And China was not and is not a colonializer.
the Chinese ambassador also telling us that her government is in its final stages of approving funding for the new hospital promised by the Davis administration. The timeline for that to be announced soon. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. And we'll have more on that healthcare facility coming up in Our News at 7:30. A viral video showing men dressed as immigration officers violently choking a man inside a home, igniting outrage and demands for answers. And tonight, former Immigration Minister Demeritte speaking out. Delvado Emmanuel has the story.
These disturbing images coming from two viral videos that are making rounds on Facebook and WhatsApp. Our news obtained these videos from 242 in the No Facebook page. The footage appears to show at least 3 people dressed in camouflage with Bahamian and immigration patches, choking and beating a man inside a home. In the first 40-second clip, one man is seen dragging a man inside, pushing him to the ground. Moments later, a second man lies on his back as another officer chokes him, and a nearby woman pleads. The second video, just over 2 minutes long, shows the aftermath. The man staggered across the room, dazed, while the individuals in camouflage surround him. Former Immigration Minister Brent Simonette, who hadn't seen the video before speaking with us this morning, he says use of force by uniformed officers must be justified.
There are established rules and regulations with regard to arrest and handling of non-nationals or criminals or whatever, and they should be obeyed at all times. And should the police force or defense force, immigration force go beyond that, there should be the appropriate reprimand.
Simonette says during his time in office, similar incidents rarely reached his desk, but were typically handled by department heads. Still, he acknowledges that not every detainee is cooperative and urges a balanced view.
In some instances, you're not dealing with saints. So, in arresting someone. So, we have to be very careful that we don't come down too hard on law enforcement officers when we don't know the circumstances. But sometimes force may be warranted, and that has to be something that has to be looked into and can't be answered on a pure video.
It remains unclear whether these individuals in the video are legitimate law enforcement officers. Authorities have not released an official statement. Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that. A night out for 2 American visitors had a frightening end after they were held up in a parking lot near Potter's Key Dock. Police say it happened just after midnight. The 2 U.S. nationals, they were walking back to their rental car, and that's when they were approached by a gunman who demanded cash. Investigators say they gave in to his demands and handed over cash and other personal items. The gunman was able to escape. He ran from the scene. And 5 men face charges following a massive multi-million-dollar drug bust in Long Key. Michael Sands, Shamar Morgan, Delvano Farquharson, Ahmad Lewis, and Stephen Pratt, they appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley, charged with conspiracy to possess drugs, possession with the intent to supply, and drug importation. On May 14th, intelligence led the Drug Enforcement Unit to execute a search warrant at a home in Albertown, uncovering 1,650 pounds of marijuana valued at $1.9 million. There was 687 pounds of cocaine worth $6.7 million and 99 bottles of Two-Coast valued at nearly $10,000. All 5 men denied the charges, but Sands was denied bail due to a prior drug conviction in 2023, while the others, they were each granted $25,000 bail. Their trial is set for August 28th through 30th. And one day after Bahama's Public Services Union raised concerns about harmful working conditions, President Kingsley Ferguson confirmed workers were removed from the space Monday. In a statement late Monday, the Office of the Attorney General denied claims staff were forced to work in unsafe conditions, insisting employees were never expected to perform duties in an unfit environment. The statement also called mole allegations in the Central Registry unfounded and noted a thorough professional cleaning and sanitization completed in January. It ended reaffirming commitment to maintaining clean, safe, and healthy workplaces. Our spotlight now on Grand Bahama, as Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard pressing the Davis administration for full transparency on the $120 million sale of Grand Lucayan Resort to Ancient Waters Bahama Limited, a subsidiary of U.S.-based Concord Wilshire. The call comes as Prime Minister Philip Davis recently criticized Pintard's readiness to lead the Bahamas, questioning his professional, and life experience. Pintard fired back, demanding the Prime Minister just come clean.
I can't believe you pop the champagne and light up the fireworks for heads of agreement rather than a sale of the Grand Lucayan with all of the details, all of the terms, the timelines, and to answer the big questions. Is the $120 million in the bank? Has the property been transferred to the developer? Is this deal connected in any way to the airport?
Now, F&M members of Parliament, they were noticeably absent from last week's signing of the heads of agreement. 2 of Grand Bahama's 5 seats are held by F&M candidates and another by the Coalition of Independents, who were also absent. Pintard emphasized the party's support for any effort that helps Grand Bahamians recover, but made it clear they will not back what he called, quote, slapping up.
I took the time to write the Prime Minister and also wrote the developers, asking for a full briefing, not a photo op. Let's discuss the facts. We can save the celebrations once the serious part of the job is done. I want to encourage Grand Bahamians, don't be distracted. While you hope for the best, while we hope for the best, keep your eyes open.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center. Greg, Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday too, and it is hot on the outside. It's also hot right now as we are still in the 80s. 83 degrees is our current temperature, mostly clear skies out there. East winds at 9 miles per hour. It feels like temperature very, very warm, 86 degrees. Temperatures around the islands, all in the 80s once again this evening. 83 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 82 in Alistown, Bimini, as well as in Great Harbour Key. Pair of 81s, Marshall, Barbacoa, Governor's Harbour. Nickel San Andros, and here in the capital, 83s. We pick up more 80s in the Central Bahamas, 83 in Kemps Bay, 80 Black Point, Georgetown, Arthurstown, Cat Island, 82, 81s, Deadman's Key, Port Nelson, Rum Key, and Coopin Townsend, Salvador, and down the Southeast Bahamas. 81, Duncantown, Ragged Island. 82 is Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, and Abrahams Bay. Providenciales, you are cooler actually at 79. Matthewtown, Unagua, deep south, you are the warm spot right now at 84 degrees. Satellite radar composite, this is a rinse and repeat cycle once again. High pressure charge, clear skies, sunny conditions. Very dry out there, so we are really hoping for some more rain. We do have a frontal boundary that could get in here sometime by the end of the week, Thursday, Friday time frame. Might bring us a couple of showers, but that dry air mass will stay with us. Very warm temperatures, so if you're on the outdoors, make sure you stay hydrated and take frequent breaks. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, we take a look at how the draw is shaping up for the Samuel P. Haven High School Soccer Nationals.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Liking Man, and Tag on Everything. He can be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas channel 212. 8 o'clock Friday, be there or don't.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV. Experience more.
to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show with Ian Dallard.
Phosphorescent. Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of groovin'.
Welcome to Our Sports is 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. League play has wrapped in the senior divisions, and we're all set for action to get going on the pitch as the Samuel P. Haven High School Soccer Nationals get underway. The New Providence Group Playoff begins tomorrow at the Roscoe Davies Soccer Field, with the top programs in the country vying for their spot in the semifinals. The senior girls are first at 4:30 p.m. with the BAISS champion and defending national champion Laifaki International School Dragons taking on the R.M. Bailey Pacers, third in the GSSSA. Senior girls match 2 will be a battle between 2 seeds, the St. Andrews Hurricanes against the Anatole Rogers Timberwolves. The lone senior boys match of the day will kick off at 6:30 p.m. with the BAISS champion and defending national champion Windsor School takes on the GSSSA third seed, the C.R. Walker Knights. The Thompson sisters continue their dominance in the Atlantic Sun Conference for the Jacksonville University Dolphins. Cassandra Thompson won her second consecutive 400-meter ASUN outdoor title with a time of 53.28 seconds. Casey Thompson took first place in the 200 meters in 23.24 seconds and finished second in the 100 meters in 11.47 seconds. Both were members of the 4x400 meter relay that won their second straight conference title in 3 minutes 39.70 seconds, a full second faster than the previous year. Bahama and the John McEnroe Tennis Center plan to showcase even more racket sports this spring. In addition to tennis, pickleball and paddle will be featured prominently from the youth level to adults. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as a new global deal promises fair access to vaccines and treatments, especially for poorer nations. Plus, the British Prime Minister joins global leaders in condemning escalating violence in Gaza. And dramatic video tonight as a monster tornado hits Oklahoma. When Our News returns.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana Show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Liking Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV. Experience more.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The World Health Organization has approved a new global agreement aimed at better preparing for future pandemics. The deal, which officials say has been 3 years in the making, guarantees countries that share virus samples will get access to tests, vaccines, and treatments with up to 20% set aside for poorer nations. WHO Chief Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus called it historic.
This is truly a historic moment, as you would agree with me. Even in the middle of crisis and in the face of significant opposition, you worked tirelessly, you never gave up, and you reached your goal.
Minister Keir Starmer says he's horrified by Israel's military escalation in Gaza, joining France and Canada in a joint call for a ceasefire. Speaking in Parliament Tuesday, Starmer said the statement, also backed by leaders Emmanuel Macron and Mark Carney, condemns the rising violence. Hamas welcomed the move, calling it a step towards restoring international law, but Israel's foreign ministry fired back, saying the three nations are on the wrong side of history.
And I want to put on record today that we're horrified by the escalation from Israel. We repeat our demand for a ceasefire as the only way to free the hostages. We repeat our opposition to settlements in the West Bank. And we repeat our demand to massively scale up humanitarian assistance into Gaza. The recent announcement that Israel will allow a basic quantity of food into Gaza, a basic quantity, is totally and utterly inadequate.
U.S. President Donald Trump weighing in on Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis, calling it, quote, very sad, but questioning why it took so long to be made public. Trump also cast doubt on Biden's doctors, confusing the cancer's score with a non-existent stage 9. Meanwhile, Biden and his wife Jill thanked the public for their support. On another front, Trump calling for an investigation into celebrity endorsements for Kamala Harris, though campaign finance experts say there's no law against paying for event support as long as it is disclosed. An eyewitness video captured a tornado tearing through Arnett, Oklahoma on Sunday, one of more than 70 reported across the central United States in recent days. Severe storms have killed at least 28 people and left a trail of destruction across central and eastern states, with damaging hail and powerful winds battering entire communities. Weather alerts remain in effect through late Tuesday as officials warn more dangerous conditions could be on the way. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was May 20th. Then in our news at 7:30, a labor crisis unfolds at Norman's Key in Exuma as an official calls it the worst case he's seen. Claims of human trafficking, unpaid wages, unsafe housing, and possible discrimination now under urgent investigation. And the Davis administration's specialty hospital edges closer to reality as China's Exim Bank prepares final loan approval. We'll tell you the new facility set to serve women and children and house a national morgue when our news returns.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Kendino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1506, Christopher Columbus died in Spain. His voyages, beginning with landfall in Guanahani, now San Salvador, connected Europe to the Americas and changed the course of world history. They sparked colonization, brought devastation to indigenous peoples through disease, slavery, and war, and set off a race for the riches of the New World. To this day, scholars still debate whether Columbus thought he had reached Asia or if he knew he had stumbled upon an entirely new continent. Then fast forward to 1963, when the Bahamas concluded a major constitutional conference in London. The result, a new constitution that granted internal self-government. It introduced the office of the Premier, a cabinet, and a newly formed Senate. That constitution officially came into effect on January 7, 1964. Then May 20th, 1964, a shocking tragedy struck the over-the-hill community. Reuben Roll of Broome Street opened fire, killing 6 people, including his wife, before taking his own life. He became the first recorded mass shooter in Bahamian history. And in 2012, in the wake of the Free National Movement's election defeat, Desmond Bannister announced his bid for deputy leader of the party. But in the end, it was Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner who secured the post. All right, to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit rnews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is our Talia Hall. She's up with the latest headlines. Talia, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Ken. Yes. All right, well, City in Focus returns tonight, plus remembering Larry Demeritte. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News Live at 7:30, a new state-of-the-art hospital is on the horizon for the capital. Hear how it's now in the final stages of funding. But first, a full-scale investigation is underway into shocking allegations at Norman's Key, from labor violations to human trafficking. Plus, DPM Chester Cooper hits back at opposition leader Michael Pintard over calls for more transparency in the $120 million Grand Lucayan sale. Cooper shares what he thinks Pintard should have done if he wanted answers. And later, he broke barriers in Bahamian horse racing and took his talents all the way to the Kentucky Derby. Tonight, we remember Larry Demeritte, a pioneer who left a lasting legacy. When our News Live at 7:30 returns.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Once I had a gal, she called me pain. Left me in the cold and pouring rain. So I decided to put her down. I took a trip to Boy Town.
INTI Corporation is on the move.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. A full-scale investigation has been launched into the Norman's Key development in Exuma, according to Labor Director Howard Thompson. The investigation follows grave allegations including human trafficking, labor law violations, and substandard living conditions. Thompson calling it the most severe situation he's encountered in his tenure.
The allegations present themselves to the point where I'm almost able to say that this is the worst of the worst that I've heard of in terms of complaints to the Department of Labor since I've been the director. And so this has my priority. This is number one priority for me. And the Department of Labor, immigration won't rest until we get all of these issues resolved.
Thompson says complaints were coming in for more than a year with a significant increase in the past few months. Employees allege delayed payments, mole infestation, environmental law breaches, and inadequate housing conditions. There are also allegations of undocumented migrants and accusations of discriminatory practices, including unlawful terminations.
A number of the Bahamian workers down there, the expat workers down there, seem to corroborate a lot of what those anonymous complaints came in from the Department of Labor. But I would say this, what got me even more concerned, in the past maybe a month, we've seen a lot of managers from Norman's Key who were either let go or resigned. In particular, we saw that an HR head was let go. And so when we see 8 Bahamian HR heads resigning or being terminated, that's a huge signal that there's not just smoke, but there's fire.
The People's Republic of China is in the final stages of approving funding for the new $290 million specialty hospital promised by the Davis administration. The facility will be a women's and children's hospital and include a national morgue. Its proposed location is on 50 acres of land east of New Providence Highway. At the last update, Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says the loan facility was awaiting final approval from the Import-Export Bank of China. Chinese Ambassador Yang Jiran telling reporters they hope to complete the process soon.
I must say that, from the Bahamian side, you have already, fulfilled all these, materials and things required. So now it's the ball is in our court. We need to speed up the, approval process.
Well, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper is firing back at Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard and his calls for more transparency on last week's signing of a heads of agreement for the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort for some $120 million. The HOA was signed with the U.S.-based Concord Wilshire. The American company has been developing, constructing, and investing in distinguished real estate assets in major or emerging markets throughout the United States since 1992 and has won awards in the sector. Pintard, in a statement Monday, said that while the party welcomes any credible steps towards Grand Bahama's economic recovery, the details of the agreement should be made transparent. Responding to the criticism while in Exuma yesterday afternoon, DPM Cooper said if Pintard wanted more information about the deal, he should have attended the signing.
Had he been there, he would have gotten significant amount of detail and color as to what the development is all about. Frankly, the people of Grand Bahama are excited about the project. It's going to work wonders for tourism in Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama is already up 11.6% in LF ahead of last year. Carnival Cruise Lines is coming. That's going to bring about 1 million guests this year and many millions next year. Big things are happening for Grand Bahama. And it is regrettable that some who wish to be leaders of our country don't appreciate the progress, the way the people seem to be inspired by it.
Cooper adds Prime Minister Philip Davis is expected to reveal more about the deal in the coming days and weeks. Meantime, he praised the progress made so far and says naysayers need to know when to quit talking and take action.
We're supportive of the progress we're seeing in Grand Bahama. People are excited about that progress. And I once termed the F&M enemies of progress. So I trust that they will get on board. They will see the excitement in the economy of Grand Bahama, and they will get behind the new owners of the Grand Lucayan Resort 100% and support this development. It's good for employment, it's good for entrepreneurship, it's good for the overall economy of Grand Bahama. I'm excited about it.
Well, prosecutors have opened their case against a policeman accused of misusing his badge to solicit sex. Constable Shaquille Williamson has denied a charge of procuration. Prosecutors allege that Williamson was on patrol alone on July 5, 2023, when he came across a man and a woman on Yamakar Beach. He allegedly told a 32-year-old woman that he needed to have sex with him. She needed to have sex with him to avoid being arrested to make outstanding arrest warrants for unpaid traffic tickets go away. Well, nice weather on this Tuesday, but temperatures are expected to heat up. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is live in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, it's hot, super hot.
Nice, but it's going to get very warm. We're starting to be flirting with those feels-like temperatures. Most of those are now in the mid-90s. With daytime temperatures hitting near the 90-degree mark. 82 degrees is our current temperature on the outside right now. East-southeast winds at 9 miles per hour. It feels like temperature a very, very warm 86 degrees is what it feels like outdoors. High pressure in charge. Nothing happening in the weather department. That ridge is creating some very dry conditions across the area. Not much in terms of any clouds nor rainfall, so if you're planning on doing anything on the outdoors, please do exercise some caution. Wear something appropriate for the heat, and of course stay hydrated, and we do have some high UV indices, so make sure you wear that big brim or take frequent breaks. That's your quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, fun, culture, and VIP vibes tonight in our final report from Celebration Key. We explore what makes the guest experience unforgettable. And still on Grand Bahama in tonight's City in Focus, we shine the spotlight on the island's developments, highlights, and community stories in our weekly series. And later, some residents on Grand Bahama took part in a recent climate risk workshop aimed at building resilience. We take you inside UB's latest initiative when our news continues.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on, we take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of collage them, stuff like in man, and tag on everything. He can be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas, channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV.
In the final installment of our special series on Celebration Key, we take you to the heart of what Carnival promises to deliver fun from VIP welcome moments to Bahamian culture. The managers behind the guest experience team are designing a Bahamian escape unlike any other. Let's take a look.
Walking into Celebration Key is extremely fun. Everything is fun.
We get paid to have fun.
At Celebration Key, fun isn't just a goal, it's the job. And for these guest experience managers, that job starts long before the first ship docks. From setting the tone for VIP arrivals to choosing local vendors who offer that authentic Bahamian flavor, each piece of the guest journey is strategically designed. Senior Guest Experience Manager Daniel Belton and Cabana Services Manager Newton Tiltilma at Celebration Key explains more.
Guest experience entails Cabana Services, Guest Services, ShoreX, Pearl Cove Beach Club, and the entertainment teams.
So as the manager of Cabana Services, I have the fun responsibility of a little over 200 rentals. Daybed as well as cabanas.
There's also Pearl Cove, an adults-only private beach club.
Luxurious, stylish, chic. Equipped with its own private restaurant, cabanas, daybeds, super villas, and over 350 lounges.
Now our staff has been onboarded and they're here. We're working on trainings, luxury language.
And beyond the beach, vendors play a key role in adding that Bahamian touch. Alonka Julian Roll, concession manager, says they're still in the process of finalizing contracts, but so far some 26 vendors are Bahamian and 18 are from Grand Bahama.
We have Baja Gala, very authentic Bahamian jewelry. We have amazing food truck vendors, and some of those are Mini Tuna King. We also have flipping fritters.
But it's not just about the food and fun. Culture takes center stage too.
While we take our fun seriously, we also take our culture seriously. Every day on Celebration Key, there will be a Junkanoo rush out, not once, but twice per day.
Mama say no raking and scraping in here, but we could be raking and scraping on Celebration Key.
All day.
Get ready for the costumes, get ready for the glamour.
The guest services and shore excursion teams are bringing the energy and connecting guests to local opportunities. Letitia Scott and Julianne Michelle are leading that effort.
We are the core of all of guest needs and experiences at this time. We are presently working with over 40 local vendors. So this gives the locals an opportunity to make money. This brings money to the economy.
We bring the energy, and if you're thinking about joining the Celebration Key, don't think about it, run here.
All right, what a fun week it's been with the Celebration Key team. So many bubbly personalities, as you could see, and so much pride in their work. A whole lots of laughs along the way. A big thank you to Carnival and the team at Celebration Key for welcoming me and the Our News team behind the scenes. Well, it's being called a resurrection, a revival, and for many Grand Bahamians, a long-awaited sign of hope. This is government sold the Grand Lucayan Resort last week, paving the way for a nearly $1 billion redevelopment project. In tonight's Return of City in Focus, Our News anchor Candino Knowles looks back at the landmark signing and why Grand Bahama's future may finally be turning a corner.
For years, Grand Bahamians have been waiting, hoping for a sign that brighter days are ahead. And while government's recent $120 million sale of Grand Lucayan Resort may have made headlines for Grand Bahama Port Authority, the moment at last week's signing, something bigger than a business deal.
Today is not just another signing ceremony. Today is a statement, a declaration, a long-awaited turning point.
Port President Ian Roll calling the moment transformational, crediting government's perseverance and leadership for getting the long-stalled deal across the finish line.
This deal had the fingerprints of leadership on it. It got special attention from our Prime Minister. It came by intention. It came by negotiation. It came by perseverance.
But while the sale to Concord Wilshire makes way for an $827 million resort redevelopment, the Port Authority sees it as a call to action for residents to be ready.
This right here is more than a transaction. This is a resurrection. This is a revival. This is a return to the promise of Freeport and Grand Bahama.
And Roll urging Grand Bahamians to see themselves in the rebuild, not just as spectators, but participants in the island's comeback.
But hear me now. What was broken is being rebuilt. What was closed is being reopened. What was lost is being redeemed.
And that spirit of hope echoed earlier by GBPA co-owner Sarah St. George, who calls Freeport not just an asset, but a miracle city in motion.
I think it's Miracle City. I think that's a far more spiritual word, and I think it really reflects what we've seen here. And we need those miracles to just keep happening. That's the thing.
Reporting for our news, I'm Candino Knowles.
All right, thanks for that report, Candino. While the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus UB Ignite recently hosted a climate risk workshop at the Foster B. Pasena Center in Grand Bahama, the training, originally designed for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, was expanded to include government and non-governmental, as well as corporate entities. Several climate experts and professionals in the field addressed the attendees. Executive Director of UB Ignite at UB North, Katira Bab Higgs, says all stakeholders must engage or should engage in a climate risk training, while Dr. Anselino Davis, Assistant Professor of Environmental Science and Geography at UB, also shared valuable information with the participants.
It's also very important that every entity in our country and the small island developing states are fully prepared and equipped to protect against natural disasters and the risk of climate. We know from time and time again our experience with hurricanes in the Bahamas, and it's important that moving forward our businesses are able to quickly maneuver and transition whenever these things occur.
We're helping them to kind of wrap their minds around what climate risk is. And it's not just about the environmental climate, it's also about business climate risks that may be caused by what's going on around the world. So as things change, is your business prepared for that change?
Attendees say the session was informative. Many learned more about climate change and how other factors can trigger disasters like wildfires.
We're learning all about preparedness. Their tagline is being forewarned is forearmed, and I couldn't agree more. A large part of being able to continue doing business is having prepared properly.
I'm encouraging Grand Bahamians to begin preparing very seriously, even in your own homes. Take a look around your home. What are fire starters? Things that can ignite fires. You may have bottles thrown around.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, we preview the fixtures of the opening day high school soccer nationals, more NCAA track and field conference championship updates, and how the John McEnroe Tennis Center plans to showcase more racket sports.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't no being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show with Ian Dallard.
Phosphorescent. Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of groovin' is here.
Hey, y'all gotta watch the Charlie Banana Show this week, you know. Me and Battle could be on. We take over from Charlie Bahama. He ain't here no more. Me and Battle could be on. You see? And we got the creator of Collage Them, Stop Liking Man, and Tag on Everything. He could be on the show with Charlie Banana, okay? Saying? Cable Bahamas, channel 212, 8 o'clock Friday. Be there or don't.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Welcome to Our Sports presented by 10th year seniors. I'm John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. League play has wrapped in the senior divisions and we're all set for action to get going on the pitch as the Samuel P. Haven High School Soccer Nationals get underway. The New Providence Group playoff begins tomorrow at the Roscoe Davies Soccer Field with the top programs in the country vying for their spot in the semifinals. The senior girls are first at 4:30 p.m. with the BAISS champion and defending national champion Laifaki International School Dragons taking on the R.M. Bailey Pacers, third in the GSSA. Senior girls match 2 will be a battle between 2 seeds, the St. Andrews Hurricanes against the Anatole Rogers Timberwolves. The lone senior boys match of the day will kick off at 6:30 p.m. with the BAISS champion and defending national champion Windsor School takes on the GSSA third seed, the C.R. Walker Knights. On Thursday, the senior girls will get things started at 4:30 p.m. with the BAISS third seed Queens College Comets against the GSSA champion C.R. Walker Knights. At 5 p.m., it will be a senior boys matchup of 2 seeds with St. John's College Giants against Government High School. Finally, at 6:30 p.m., the senior boys national runners-up and GSSA champion Anatole Rogers T-Wolves will face the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine. Winners of each match will advance to the semifinal on May 29th. The Thompson sisters continue their dominance in the Atlantic Sun Conference for the Jacksonville University Dolphins. Cassandra Thompson won her second consecutive 400-meter ASUN outdoor title with a time of 53.28 seconds. Casey Thompson took first place in the 200 meters in 23.24 seconds and finished second in the 100 meters in 11.47 seconds. Both were members of the 4x400 meter relay that won their second straight conference title in 3 minutes 39.70 seconds, a full second faster than the previous year. In Conference USA, Indira Cartwright, Shania Adderley, and the Liberty Flames won the Conference USA title. Cartwright finished second in the 100 hurdles in 13.66 seconds. In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Championship, Morgan State freshman Kaylin Johnson won the discus with a personal best mark of 48.02 meters. Bahama and the John McEnroe Tennis Center plan to showcase even more racket sports this spring. In addition to tennis, pickleball and paddle will be featured prominently from the youth level to adults.
So this year we thought it best, since pickleball is one of the emerging sports and is on the rise in the country, that we partner with the Pickleball Federation to offer more classes and courses, not only for those student athletes who will be participating, but hopefully for some of our teachers to learn the new emerging sport.
That'll do it for our sports. I hope Ronaldo's travel time to Ecuador isn't as long as it was from Bahrain to Nassau. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, he broke barriers in Bahamian horse racing and took his talents all the way to the Kentucky Derby. We remember Larry Demeritte when our news continues. Stay with us.
Turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
INTI Corporation is on the move. Day by day, panel by panel, our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, INTI redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucaya solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. INTI is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as INTI.
This is our news. Welcome back. Not a whole lot going on in the weather department. High pressure is the dominant weather feature that's going to continue to keep us with a dry weather pattern in place. Very hot sunshine out there, so we're urging you, if you plan on having any outdoor activities or plan on doing anything on the outdoors, make sure you stay hydrated and, of course, take frequent breaks from the sun. Of course, we do have some high UV indices as well, so if you happen to have to be out there, make sure you wear a nice brim or some comfortable clothes. That high pressure system will continue to slide gently towards the east. Storm systems to the north will stay well to the north, but we do expect a very weak front to get near sometime Thursday into Friday. Could bring us a couple of showers, but we don't see much in the weather department. Taking a look at the future forecast, nothing happening there Tuesday through Wednesday. That high pressure system remains in charge. High level clouds moving just to the north of us. Weak front boundary approaching us from the northwest. That should be pushing across Florida by Thursday, but by Friday we expect that front to get near once again with nothing much with weather in it. Boating forecast, you're gonna love this on the water. Those winds will fall light and variable at times, but they will be mainly out of the east to southeast at around 10 knot, seas running 1 to 3 feet. Low tide is at 8:34 tonight. High tide takes place 2:47 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, just rinse and repeat. Sunny conditions, temperatures will stay near the 90-degree mark. Those nighttime temperatures will be in the upper 70s. Looks like air conditioning weather is upon us. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, Bahamians and horse racing fans woke up to the sad news today. The country's first horse trainer, Larry Demeritte, passed away overnight after a long battle with cancer. His decorated career spans decades, from a young trainer here in the Bahamas all the way to the glamour of the Kentucky Derby. Our Joshua Williams spoke with a few who knew and loved him.
Just about a year ago, Larry Demeritte raced his way into the hearts of Bahamians and horse racing fans with his Kentucky Derby entry west Saratoga. His decades-long career began as a young stable boy at Hobby House Hall Racetrack on Cable Beach. Almost 50 years after leaving home, he was catapulted into the headlines, fulfilling his dream with an entry into the 150th Kentucky Derby last year, the first Bahamian and only third black trainer since 1951. But for his wife Inga, he was simply a loving husband and father.
He meant the world to me. He was caring. His 3 sons, they're his stepchildren, but he took them in as his own, gave them good advice, wanted everyone to succeed. He was a mentor to many, many young people.
Aside from his love for horses, Inga describes Larry as a man who loved church, children with special needs, and his friends, like Dr. Valentino Grant.
It was in Lexington that we met each other. I heard about this amazing Bahamian horse trainer, and I wanted to meet him. So I flew to Lexington, and, we met each other. We hit it off immediately, like two kindred spirits.
His was a lifetime of success with wins across the U.S. racing circuit. Equestrian Bahamas President Kathy Pierre calls him a hero for many young riders.
In everything that he said and the experiences that he shared, he epitomized for me the wish and the wisdom of that generation of Bahamian that he belonged to. He made me feel proud to be a Bahamian, to be a Bahamian equestrian.
Last July, Larry told on-the-record host Jerome Sawyer his dream of having the sport return to his beloved Bahamas.
And we will increase the tours if we had horse racing, because people in Florida will come here. They will stable here. you know, in the wintertime, not in the summertime, because they want to rest their horses and still be on vacation.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh, and condolences from the entire Our News team to his family and friends. And with that, we thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you
already trust.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you.